Hello everyone, in this video I will go over my solution to the problem named staying hydrated taken from today's Google Kickstart competition. This problem is an excellent problem which teaches you how to solve two-dimensional problems by breaking them down into the x component and the y component of the 2D plane and solving the problem for the x component and the y component separately, and basically instead of worrying about 2D objects, we can worry about 1D objects, and we need to solve it independently for the X object and the Y object. And another key learning target from this video would be how we can use the median of a list. And there's one key property of the median which I'll be mentioning a bit into the video, which is very useful, and it will help us to basically solve the problem for each of the components independently. So I'll be mentioning that as I explain the solution. So in this problem we are basically given k objects and each object is a rectangle. We are given the four coordinates of the rectangle, basically the left coordinate, the bottom left and the top right coordinate of the rectangle, and we need to choose a point such that the Manhattan distance of that point from each of those rectangles, the sum of the Manhattan distance of the point from each of the rectangles is minimized. So for example, let's say that we have three rectangles. These are the three rectangles which you can see, and over here it's optimal to choose the point 1, 3 as the point where you minimize the sum of the distances from this point to each of the three rectangles. You can verify that the minimum minimum sum of the distances is 2 plus 1, which is 3, and that's why this point is the minimum. Note that if there are more than one points, we need to choose the one with minimum x coordinate and the one with minimum y coordinate. And even in the second example, you can verify that we have only one rectangle with bottom left corner 0, 0 and top right corners 1, 1. So in that case, obviously any point on the rectangle is going to minimize the sum of distances. So we choose the leftmost and the bottommost point, which is 0, 0. And that's why the answer is 1, 3 and 0, 0. So the first key idea is from the first learning target, which is let's break down the problem into the x coordinate and the y coordinate. And let's say we know the x coordinate, which minimizes the sum of distances to other x coordinates. And let's say we know the y coordinate, which minimizes the sum of distances to the other y coordinates. Then we can basically just print those two. We can print the x coordinate and the y coordinate and we are done. So for example, in the example itself, if we find that the x coordinate is 1 and if we find the y coordinate is 3, then we can just print 1, 3, and the two are not dependent on each other. So the reason why 1 is the best x coordinate is because the sum of the distances of the x coordinate 1 is just 1, and you can verify that when the y coordinate is 3, the sum of the distances of the y coordinate 3 from the other rectangles is just 2. So that's why at the point 1 and the x coordinate 1 and the y coordinate 3 are the best two, and we print 1, 3. So that's the reason behind why we can solve the problem separately for the x coordinate and the y coordinate. And the other key idea is that let's try to basically think about how we can minimize the sum. So what we essentially need to do is minimize the sum of the x coordinate. So minimize the sum of the distances of the x coordinate from other x coordinates. So from the other n x coordinates. That's what we need to do. Now we need to choose the x coordinate which minimizes the sum of the distances from the other n x coordinates. And the key idea is that that particular x coordinate is just the median of all the x coordinates. So if you just took all the x coordinates 0, 1, 2, 4, 0, 5, you sorted them and you took the middle value, and you'll find that it is 1. And similarly for this set, if you took 0, 1 and you find the middle value which is 0, you take 0 and that's the optimal x value. Note that if the length of the list is even, because like the number of elements is 2n, the number of x coordinates is 2n, so we have to take the left median. So in this case, when the elements were 0 comma 1, you take 0, and in the other case, when the x coordinates were 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 4 comma 0 comma 5, and you sorted them to get 0 comma 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 4 comma 5, then in that case the median is the left value, which is 1 of these two medians, and you can verify that that actually works for all. So basically we just need to print the median of the x coordinates, the median of the y coordinates, and that's just going to be the 2n minus 2n by 2th value, or basically 2n minus 1 by 2th value in the list. And like that's the whole problem. Now I'll be explaining why this actually works, why the median minimizes the sum of the distances from the other n values. So let's try to prove this. To prove this, let's say we had an array of n elements. Like in this problem we actually have pairs of elements, so we actually have values like 0 comma 1, and then we had 2 comma 4, and then we had 0 comma 5, and then we basically said that we could just sort them in this manner, and the median would be the answer. But let's try to first consider a simpler problem in which we don't have pairs of elements. So let's just say that we had this element without the pairs. So let's say the pairs were not there. Then in that case, why does the median minimize the sum of distances to the other values? So let's say let's consider an example. Let's say we had the list 1 comma 5 comma 15. Then a common misconception is that the number which minimizes the sum of distances to other values is actually the average. So a common misconception is that the number will be 7, but actually that is incorrect, because you can verify that the sum of distances is 7 minus 1 plus 7 minus 5 plus 15 minus 7, and that is actually equal to 8 plus 6 plus 2, which is 16. And this actually doesn't minimize the sum of values, because if you take the value 5, so if you take 5 minus 1 plus 5 minus 5, 5 is the median, that's why I took 5, and 15 minus 5, then you get that the sum of all these elements is actually 14. So why does this happen? Why does the median minimize the sum of distances to other values? Like that's what I'm going to explain right now. So the reason is, let's say we took a value smaller than the median. So let's say we took 4, and if we took 4, then the key idea is that the distance to 1 decreases. So if we took 4, the distance of 4 to 1 is 3, which is less than 4. So the distance decreases by 1, but the distance to the right values increases. So by 2. So the distance to the left increases by number of elements to the left into 1, because we are moving to the left by 1, if we make 5 to 4. And on the other hand, the distance to the right increases, the distance to the left decreases by the number of elements to the left into 1, and the distance to the right increases by number of elements to the right and again into 1, because we moved 1 to the right. And if you realize, when we take the element 4, then the number of elements less than 4 is actually 1. So there is one element less than 4, and there are actually 2 elements greater than 4 in this list. So that's why, although the sum of absolute values decreases by 1, it also increases by 2. So the net result is that we get a minus 1 and a plus 2, so it increases by 1. And that's why when we move from 5 to 4, the sum of absolute values increases. A similar logic happens when you move from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7. So if you move from 5 to 7, for example, then the distance to the left increases by number of elements to the left into 2, because you move from 5 to 7, so into 2. And the distance to the right decreases by the number of elements to the right into 2, because again you moved to the right. So for example, if you take 7, then the distance to the left will increase by 2 into 2, which is 4, and the distance to the right will actually decrease by only 1 into 2, which is minus 2. So that's why a 4 and a minus 2 will give a net result of plus 2, and like that's exactly why 14 plus 2 is 16. So that's exactly why the sum of absolute values is 2 more than in the case of the median. Now in general, when we want this and this to cancel out, when we want them to be equal, then we want the number of elements to the left to be equal to the number of elements to the right. That's the idea. Like that's when the net negative result will be equal to the net positive result. And to find out the particular index or the particular integer which gives the number of elements to the left equal to the number of elements to the right, that's the exact definition of the median. And like that's exactly why the median is going to minimize the sum of absolute values. So that's what happens when we have an array of single elements. Now, so you can verify that even in this case, when we take the median, which is 1, or if we take 2, then it also minimizes the sum of absolute values. And since we want the minimum value of x, so since we want the smaller one, we are going to take 1, we are not going to take 2. Even 2 will minimize the sum of absolute values. You can just check it out by hand right now, but we take the smaller value since they have specifically asked us to take the minimum x coordinate and the minimum y coordinate. And now let's prove why this also works when we have pairs of values. So far we saw that if we just take single values, then we minimize the sum of distances, and that's what the problem is asking us. But actually the actual problem is a bit different, where we need to find the minimum sum of absolute values to pairs of indices. So the reason why this works when we are dealing with pairs of integers also is because we want to ensure that the number of pairs which appear to the left of the value of the optimal x value is equal to the number of pairs which appear to the right of the optimal x value, and this is actually also the median. So let's just take an example to understand why this is true. So let's say we have the same 3 pairs of points. Now why is 1 always the optimal x value? The reason being, when we consider these pairs, so let's say we have a line and we consider these points on the line. So let's say that this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 4, and this is 5. Then why does 1 make sure that the number of segments to the left of 1 is equal to the number of segments appearing to the right of 1? So let's consider 1. There's one segment which is appearing like either to the left or or equal to. There is one segment which appears strictly to the right, and there is one segment which does not cover at all. So the number of segments which appear left is 1, and the number of segments which appear right is also 1. Now let's say in general we took these points or some number of points, and we basically need to let's say that we took the median of these points. So let's say we have, for example, 8 points, and let's say we took the left median, because that's what we always do. We'll take the left value of the two medians. So in that case we took the number 4. So why does 4 always ensure that whatever segments appear to the left are going to be equal to whatever segments appear to the right? And the reason why that is true is because notice that every segment, so every point is the start of a segment or the end of a segment. So let's say that there are these segments which appear to the left, and let's say that there are some segments which appear to the right. Then you can verify that in all the possible cases there are going to be 2 segments which appear to the left and 2 segments which appear to the right. And by left I mean less than or equal to this, and by right I mean strictly greater than this. So this is basically an informal proof or an informal way in which we can verify that the median actually does give us the optimal x value, which is the value which ensures that the number of pairs appearing to the left or equal to that value is the number of segments which appear to the right. And that's why simply printing the median of the X list and the Y list gives the correct answer. So in the code, I simply take in the value of t and I maintain the number of test cases because we use the number of test cases to print the final answer. Then let's say I maintain the vector for x values and the y values, and let's say I take in the value of n. So for each I going from 0 to n minus 1, I take in the coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2, and using these four coordinates I add them to the x list and the y list respectively. So PB just does the pushback to that vector. Then I just sort the two vectors after the loop, and once I sort the vectors, I just need to print the middle element, which is the median of the two vectors. So you can see that there are a total of 2n elements in the two lists. That's why the median will just be the n minus 1th element. Like 0 to 2n minus 1 are the um, two indices. That's why the n minus 1th element will actually be the left median, because like there are two medians, so you choose the smaller median because you want a smaller x value and a smaller y value. So now I'll just submit this code to see that it gets accepted. So as you could see, my code got accepted. I hope you like this problem and my solution for this problem. If you had any doubts, do leave them in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And do consider subscribing to this channel for more such content. Thank you.